absolutely essential now that we bring finality and a conclusion to this debacle. I understand that at the moment the Greens are speaking to the Taoiseach about this unprecedented situation where half a dozen ministers would appear to have resigned, and yet the Taoiseach was unable to inform the House this morning whether those resignations had been accepted or whether responsibilities had either been transferred or are being transferred to existing ministers or new appointments to be made. I would say this directly to Minister Gormley, that the wool has been pulled over his eyes here. Clearly he and his party were not informed of the internal plans of Fianna Fáil insofar as cabinet ranking positions is concerned. And I would say to Minister Gormley, he needs to bring finality to this, and he needs now to get directly from the Taoiseach a guarantee on an early date for this general election. I have given them the opportunity, in a spirit of cooperation, to bring clarity and decisiveness and conclusion to this. And as I said at the beginning of this short contribution, the people outside who are unable to pay their bills this weekend and whose cheques are going to be reduced further next week now know for what they're paying. And yesterday, when I asked the Taoiseach in the Dáil, he was unable to tell me how much in bonuses had been paid to Bank of Ireland personnel, and yet every cent of those bonuses had been paid by taxpayers whose incomes are being reduced.
And do you think if Mr Gormley can't get a date for the election that he should pull the plug?
Yes.
Just one moment, please.
Yes, he should.
So, Enda, you're saying that there should be there's widespread rumours that Taoiseach may go to the park tonight. You think that's a bad thing and he should stay in to get the finance bill passed with Fine Gael support and then set a date?
My preference is for an election now. I would like the government to be gone. I think the Taoiseach should have the courage to go to the park and tender his resignation to the President. If they want to stick together, it should be for the very minimum period of putting through the finance bill with a guarantee of an early election date on the dissolution of the Dáil on the 10th of February, which would allow for an early election. I recognise the importance of the legal framework of the finance bill. I pointed out in the Dáil yesterday that there is anxiety in European circles at what Ireland is not doing, and the carry-on across in the Chamber and in government buildings is simply unprecedented and disgraceful contempt of the people of our country.
Do you have any indication that Mr Cam is due to come to the Dáil today, or the situation?
Well, this morning there was a filibuster by the Taoiseach in not wanting to have this matter discussed in the Chamber. Insofar as Fine Gael and the Labour Party and Sinn Féin all agreed that it would be appropriate that the Taoiseach attend and explain to the people of Ireland what's happening.